Welcome! You are now in the den with Dr. Jenn, a safe and comfortable place to explore female sexuality from a variety of perspectives and to start thinking about sexuality outside the box. Okay, our den chat topic of the day. What is sexuality? I mean, this term's used an awful lot, but what exactly does it mean? And on a related note, when I say empowered sexuality for women, what do I mean by sexual empowerment? Okay, to start, sexuality is, I looked this up, sexual behavior and sexual desire. Now, this is often perceived as something natural in humans, and while there may be biological urges, the meaning and values attached to sex and our sexuality actually vary tremendously from culture to culture and throughout time. Okay, so sexual behavior, sexual thoughts, what's sexual? Looked that up. Sexual means any sensual behavior having erotic meaning for the individual. Then what's erotic? Looked that up. Sexually arousing. We seem to be going in circles here. It seems to mean any thought or activity that involves the senses and is perceived by the individual as arousing sexual interest or desire. And this is individually or culturally defined. All right, so now what is empowerment? Sexual empowerment. Owning your sexuality. Your sexuality belongs to you. Making choices that are authentic to you around your sexuality. I believe it's reintegrating mind, body, and spirit with sexuality. It's defining for yourself what is sexual. Women so often don't get this in society. It's defined outside of us, so it's kind of reclaiming that. Okay, so these are all kind of in the abstract. More concretely, to me, it means peeling back the layers of consciousness. You know, what am I thinking and doing? Where did I learn this? Would I want to pass this on to another generation of girls and women? And in the long run, does it make me like myself better and feel good about myself? Now, this is obviously very complicated, but I hope that when you watch each new session of In the Den with Dr. Jenn, you'll be able to develop a deeper understanding of what sexual empowerment means to you, individually and authentically. And you may be thinking, why does this all matter? What's the big deal? Well, as author Gina Ogden said in Women Who Love Sex, healthy sexuality is not a diversion. It is part of the whole story, integral to the quality of life, adding dimension and purpose. And speaking of women's sexual empowerment, here's our sexual fun fact number 6. Woohoo! Beautiful as Aphrodite, wise as Athena, strong as Hercules, and swifter than Mercury. Yes, it's Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman. All the world's waiting for you and the power you possess. In your satin tights, fighting for your rights, and the old red, white, and blue. Wonder Woman of DC Comics was actually created as a role model for young girls. Although the depiction of femininity meeting nationalism has been increasingly sexualized over the years for the viewer's eyes. But in 1942, creator Moulton Marston, who was a psychologist and self-defined emotional re-educator, was actually hired to evaluate the shortcomings of the comics of the time. He was particularly disturbed by the violence and hypermasculinity, and his recommendation was Wonder Woman. If you're interested in this and would like to read and view a fascinating account of how this comic has reflected sexual and gender ideologies of the past 60+ years, check out Reading Wonder Woman's Body, Mythologies of Gender and Nation. Now it's time for the Den Recommend. I found a really interesting website called Holistic Wisdom Inc. That is Holistic Sexual Health for the Mind, Body, and Spirit. It's a really educational site focused on women's pleasure and self-confidence. It has sex toys, videos, articles, advice, and a plethora of helpful information and goods for women. That's www.holisticwisdom.com. And here's a quote from Holistic Wisdom, Inc., from a page on the website called Women and Sexual Empowerment, Superficial Sexual Attraction versus the Real Deal. And I assume this is by Lisa Lawless. Anyone can screw someone. It takes a sexually confident woman to unleash her sexuality in a way that empowers herself and others. Imagine a woman who can enjoy her sexuality and share that enjoyment with her partner. That is a woman who knows wondrous joy and lives life to the fullest. Imagine a woman who embraces her sensuality, who isn't acting like she is on the red carpet posing for cameras, but is fully involved in sharing herself in conversation with a smile that fills the room. You know the type of person. When they walk in the room, you can't help but feel their presence. The one who has a strong sense of life and is truly present with where they are in that moment. Like that. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling some woman's sexual power. If you have any questions or comments about sexuality and empowerment, visit me at DrJennsDen.com or email me at Jennifer@DrJennsDen.com. So be powerful and be kind to yourself. Now it's time for the Den. Oh! Control freak.